If you're looking at the Hakko FM-203 soldering station, you probably want a reliable, professional-grade tool for your electronics projects. But here's what surprised me. This supposedly top-tier station isn't without its quirks. In fact, while the Hakko FM-203 markets itself as a premium soldering solution, it comes with some unexpected caveats that could slow down your work or even cost you extra in the long run. So, stick around because I'm going to dive deep into the real deal about the Hakko FM-203, exposing not just the good but the glitches you won't see advertised. Ready to find out if this is truly the soldering station for you or if you should look elsewhere? Let's get into it. Now, first off, who exactly is the Hakko FM-203 for? If you're a serious hobbyist, electronics repair pro, or a small production line operator, you might be considering this because of Hakko's reputation in the industry. It promises precision, durability, and compatibility with a variety of Hakko soldering tips, including the conical tips that fit FM-2027 handpieces. It supports not only the FM-203 itself, but also the FM-206 three-port soldering station, FM-204, FP-102, FP-101, and the FX-951. Sounds versatile, right? But here's the twist. Versatility in theory doesn't always mean flawless performance in practice. Let me tell you about my first run-in with the FM-203. I was ready to tackle some delicate PCB repairs, expecting smooth temperature control and reliable tip heating. Instead, I hit a snag. The station's temperature stability wasn't as consistent as I hoped. It's like having a barista who promises the perfect espresso, but sometimes serves you hot water instead. You want precision in soldering because inconsistency means cold solder joints, bruised circuits, and inevitable rework. For a device retailing around $80 on Amazon, I expected better precision. This is where many users share my pain, as reported in forums and customer feedback. Some find themselves constantly adjusting temperatures or swapping tips more often because the heat distribution doesn't stay steady. Here's a quick joke to break the soldering tension. Why don't programmers like to solder? Because they hate dealing with bugs that stick around. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. The FM-203 shines with its ergonomic handpiece, the FM-2027, which fits comfortably for longer sessions. That's a big plus if your project extends for hours and you don't want hand cramps or blisters. Plus, its compatibility with a wide range of Hakko tips means you can switch from fine work to heavier gauge soldering without changing your station, a flexibility many users appreciate. But here's the catch. Those conical tips, while great in shape for precision, tend to wear out faster under frequent use, especially if you do a lot of rework or deal with lead-free solder, which requires higher temps. Let me pause and ask, have you ever bought a tool that looked perfect on paper but felt a bit off when you actually used it? Stick with me because I'm about to reveal if the FM-203 is worth the leap or if it's better reserved as a backup tool. One major gripe with the Hakko FM-203 lies in its user interface. It's pretty minimalistic, maybe too minimalistic for some. The digital display offers temperature readouts, but lacks some of the intuitive controls you'd expect from modern stations. Imagine reaching for finely tuned temp settings and realizing you have to fiddle through buttons more than necessary. Time lost that could be better spent soldering. And while the feedback is clear, it doesn't have some of the advanced calibration features seen on other contemporary stations. Think of it as having a classic car with a dial for the radio instead of the touchscreen stereo your neighbor brags about. What about safety? The FM-203 does include the usual built-in sleep modes to prevent accidental burns and tip degradation, so it's not an unsafe device by any means. But some users note that waking it up from sleep mode is not always instantaneous, which could be disruptive during focused soldering work. It's a minor issue on paper but can be an annoyance mid-task. Another joke for you. Why did the soldering iron become a stand-up comedian? Because it always had the hot material. Regarding build quality, Hakko is known for durability, and the FM-203 does uphold this reputation. The chassis is solid, resistant to common workshop knocks, and the handpiece connector is sturdy. This means you won't face frequent repairs or replacements easily, an important consideration if you're investing in time-intensive projects. But remember, durability isn't everything if precision and usability aren't quite up to par. Here's a twist in the story. If your work demands multi-station setups or you require hot air rework, the FM-203 might feel limiting as a solo station. It's designed primarily as a single soldering tool station, unlike the FM-206, which offers 3 ports. So, if you aim for flexibility in your soldering bench setup, this might steer you toward looking at other models or complementary stations. I want you to keep this in mind. Purchasing a soldering station is not just about the price tag, but the total value it brings to your workflow: precision, comfort, durability, and reliability. For roughly $82 on Amazon, you're in the mid-range market for professional tools, but does it beat comparable alternatives? Let's weigh that carefully. And now a quick question. What would be more important to you? A station that's super rugged but not the most precise, or a more delicate station with higher exactness? It's a critical decision because the Hakko FM-203 tends to lean toward durability, sometimes at the expense of fine temperature control in rapid cycles. Let's talk customer feedback briefly. While the Amazon ratings are decent, some users complain about the soldering tip's shorter lifespan and inconsistent heat delivery. Yet others praise its no-nonsense operation and solid construction. This split feedback usually hints at product suitability varying by user skill and application type. Beginners might find it a bit challenging to calibrate properly, while seasoned technicians appreciate its barebones reliability. Here's a story from one reviewer who tried the FM-203. They needed a station for intricate mobile phone motherboard repairs. Initially, the FM-203 was great, but over months of heavy use, the heating element began fluctuating, forcing multiple recalibrations. Their conclusion: it's excellent when new, but expect some maintenance if you push it hard. This honesty helps set realistic expectations beyond the flashy sales promises. Before we wrap up, here's a practical tip. The Hakko FM-203 excels when paired with genuine Hakko tips and accessories. Using third-party tips might save money up front, but can worsen heating issues and shorten the equipment's life. So factor in the cost of genuine consumables when deciding. One last joke to leave you smiling. Why did the soldering iron break up with the wire? Because it found the connection too heated to handle. So, what's the final verdict? Should you buy the Hakko FM-203 or look beyond? If your soldering needs are moderate, you prioritize durability, and you prefer a simple but solid station that's compatible with a wide range of Hakko tips, then the FM-203 is a strong candidate. It brings genuine professional build quality for a reasonable price and an ergonomic design for comfortable use. However, if you demand pinpoint temperature control, advanced user features, or multi-tool flexibility, you might want to explore alternatives like the FM-206 or even the Hakko FX951. Remember, no tool is perfect, but the FM-203 strikes a balance for those who want a no-frills, dependable workhorse for everyday soldering tasks without breaking the budget. If you want to check current pricing or grab the Hakko FM-203, I've dropped the best Amazon link in the description below. Take a look and compare options. Whether this station will be your next favorite tool or just a backup, now you know what to expect going in. Thanks for sticking with me through this honest review. Happy soldering, and don't forget, sometimes the best connections aren't just on the PCB, but in the tools you trust to get the job done.